Namaste yogis, Nin here. Today we have a sequence for toning up the arms and building upper body strength. You won't really need any props, but there is an option, obviously, if you like, to bring any light weights into the sequence, or if you don't have any light weights at home, maybe grab a couple of tinned cans. Secondly, if you can, bring along a resistance band, or if you don't have that, a scarf or a dressing gown robe maybe, just because when we warm down we will be stretching our shoulders. So this exercise, however, is built just to use your own energy and gravity, and you will be working your upper body and feeling the burn. Okay, let's get started. So come into easy pose, legs crossed, and we'll just take an inhale, start to warm up those arms, circling the hands above the head down to the mat. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Good. One last time. Inhale, exhale. Now bringing your hands to your shoulders, just begin to circle your hands on your shoulders like this, warming up the upper body. Then back the other way. And then what I'd like you to do is bring your arms out in front of you, and then bringing the right elbow under the left, so they're stacked on top of each other. And then you can keep them like this, or if you can, option is to bind the hands. Lifting your elbows up, we'll just begin to pulse your hands here, your arms. 30 of these. And unwind, arms out to the side. Then we're going to bring our left arm under our right, stacking the elbows on top of each other, binding the hands, and then we'll take another 30 of these. Feel that burn? And let go. And then what I'd like you to do is bring your arms out to the side, and you can either kneel or sit with your legs crossed here, and then slowly begin to rotate the arms back. Inhaling, don't forget to breathe, don't drop those arms. And back the other way. Inhale. And from here, what I would like you to do is bring your feet out in front of you, then bringing the palms back behind you, lifting your pelvis off the mat, pushing down to the soles of your feet. And from here, we're just going to bend the elbows and lift up. Bend and lift up. So bending your knees as you come down and lift up. Take two more. Brilliant. Slowly come down with your feet to the mat, and then we're going to come forward, putting our knees on the floor. That's an option. Or if you feel you have stronger upper body strength, tucking the toes under and come into plank. Today I'm going to keep my knees down on the mat, and what we're going to do is do a press up. So have here, just check in with yourself, check your wrists are underneath your shoulders. And then come down and try when you're doing this to come forward, bending your elbows into your ribs, not bending them out, bend them into your ribs. And we'll just take one of those, coming up and down. Couple more. Keep it going. You can do this. And then we're going to come into your plank pose. So option here is to keep your knees on the mat and just hover up here. Maybe your arms need a rest. Or if you like, tucking your toes under, engaging the navel, keeping straight up. And then just coming down, bending your elbows in to your torso, and then pushing up into plank. Stay here for another 5 seconds. And then bending your knees, and we're going to take another 10 press-ups. Okay? And go. Always remember to be coming forward. Not bending directly down. Try and bring your torso and chest forward, and keeping your elbows coming in. Keep it going. I know it hurts, but you will feel amazing at the end of the sequence. Brilliant. Tucking the toes under, option keeping your knees underneath, or if you like, come into a full plank, engaging the navel, making sure your wrists are webbed, your hands are webbed, and your wrists are underneath your shoulders, and then just bending your elbows into your torso, hovering here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Come back into child's pose, bring your seat back to your heels, and then we're going to take our first downward facing dog. So lift up with your seat up to the sky, pedaling your feet out just momentarily here, pushing down through your arms, feeling a bit of a burn. Let your head hang, pedal out into your calves, and then come to kneeling, untucking your toes. We'll take a child's pose, and we'll take a prayer in child's pose. Bring your hands together, Anjali Mudra, bending your elbows. Just stretching out through your armpits. Excellent. Palms down onto the mat, tucking the toes underneath. And what we'll do is we'll come up into a downward facing dog, just momentarily here, and then we'll push forward with the chest, and then we'll do a wave and come up. Pushing forward with the chest, and come up. Coming forward, making sure that you're coming forward with your chest. Bending your knees if you need to. And you do your wave back up into downward facing dog. Now come down to your mat and kneel. And we're going to do just a few arm exercises here. First one I'd like you to do is bend your elbows and have your arms up in a bit of a cactus pose beside you. And then I want you to reach forward and reach back. Forward and back. And back. Good. Now we'll take the cactus pose, don't drop those arms, and we'll close and open. Close and open. Open. Oh, your arms begin to feel it now. And now I'd like you to bring your forearms together, keeping your elbows lifted, don't let them drop, and just pulse here. Keep it going. And then bringing your arms out to the side. Keep kneeling, and we're going to circle backwards. Just a couple of times. Don't drop those arms. I know they're probably cooking right now, but trust me, you will feel benefits, huge benefits to your health in your arms after this practice. And we'll rotate the other way. Good. Keep it going now. Just keep it going for a few more seconds. Beautiful. Bringing your arms down to your knees. Just rest there for a second before we come into our plank. And what we're going to do is put our forearms onto the mat like this. Option is to come up onto your palms if you need to. Come onto your forearms, tucking toes under, and we'll take a plank here. Just making sure, if you can, you're engaging your navel. Make sure your bum's not up in the sky. Keeping there. And then coming forward with your feet, bringing your head to the mat to come into a dolphin pose. So you should have your forearms on the mat still, stretching through your calves. This is a really good deep stretch for the lower body as well as the upper body, building strength through your shoulders. Excellent. Walking back now, coming back up onto your palms. What we'll do is come into a plank, and then we'll take a vinyasa, bringing your elbows into your chest, down to the mat, push up into a cobra, and then tucking the toes under and come up into a plank pose. Now, option here, keep your knees on the floor, or if you'd like to take a full version, tucking your toes under, straightening up your torso, engaging that navel, pushing down to the mat. And then we're going to take a move called side plank. So if, like me, you've got your knees on the mat, what I'd like you to do is twizzle around your right foot here to the side, and then stretch out with your left foot and lifting your palm up to the sky, looking over the shoulder, pushing down into the right arm. Or if you like, take a fuller version, bring your feet together and look up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Then just take a moment here, come back to center, and then we'll take it to the other side. So in exactly the same way, swizzle out your left leg to the side, straighten up with your right leg, and look up towards your right palm. Inhaling here. If you want to take it just a touch further, bring your feet together and look up. Exhale, come back down to the mat. And then what I'd like you to do is just come into a downward facing dog. So you should be in an upside down V shape here. Keep your sternum coming towards your thighs, let your head drop. And then coming forward into plank pose, dipping down, take a vinyasa, up into cobra, tucking the toes under, back into child's pose, and then take a dog here momentarily before we hop or walk to the front of our mat, and we take a forward fold. Now here you have the option to either straighten your legs or bend your knees slightly depending on what's available today. Let your head hang down to the mat, interlace the fingers, and then bringing the palms over your head towards the mat. And just stay here for a second. Inhale, exhale. Feel that benefit and just feel this
pull through the spine here as well. It feels amazing. Exhale, palms down to the mat. Take a half fold. Straighten out the back. Exhale down to the mat. Stepping back into plank. Lower down, take a vinyasa. Up into cobra. Tucking the toes under. Bring the seat back to the heels, stretching out into child's pose. And then bring the seat up to the sky into a downward facing dog. Pressing down through the palms. Pedaling it out with the calves. And then hop or walk to the front of your mat into forward fold. Let your head hang here. Lift into half fold, stretch out that spine. Exhale down to the mat. And then slowly come up into a pose called Tadasana, mountain pose. And here what we'll do is just have our arms to the side. And we're just gonna twist around, let our arms free. And we don't get to do this very often in yoga, we're always posing. Just let your arms go here, be free for a second. Soak up that freedom and that energy. Let yourself go, really bring those arms round. And then come back to center. Inhale, bringing the palms up above you. Exhale, coming down towards the mat, bending the knees if you need to. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway up. Exhale, palms on the mat. Step back into a plank pose. Hover here. Just staying in plank for a second, or two, or three, then take a vinyasa, bending the elbows, come down to the mat, up, peeling your body off the mat, into a cobra, tucking the toes under, and bringing the booty back to the heels, and take a downward facing dog. Excellent. Good work. Now from here, I'd like you to bring your right foot in between your palms, pressing down. Just pivot over your left foot so that you're supported. And cartwheeling your arms up, we're going to come into a warrior two. Now to take this pose where we need to for our upper body strength, I want you to just bring your arms up to the side, to the front, to the side, up, 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 to the side. And keep doing this. Straighten out your right leg if you need to. Stretching out with those arms and then clenching your fists. We're going to flex our triceps here. Keeping your arms lifted, don't let them flop to the floor, keeping them nice and strong. And then we're going to take our favourite circles again. Circle round with your palms. Stretching down through the hips if you can. And the other way now. Excellent. Bringing your palms out to the side into warrior two. And then we'll circle around and come back into a plank and take a vinyasa. Into cobra, tucking the toes under, back into downward facing dog. And then we're going to take that onto the other side. So from here, I'd like you to lift up with your left leg and bring it forward, or however you need to, towards the gate of your palms. Then twizzle out your right foot here
and do a cartwheel up into warrior two with your arms. Now I'm going to adjust here slightly because I'm facing a wall. So I'm in warrior two, and we'll repeat exactly what we did on the other side. So above, to the front, to the side, above, to the front, to the side. Option, straighten up your left leg or keep it bent. To the side, to the front, up, the front, to the side, up, to the front, to the side, up, to the front, to the side. Keep going, you can do this. You can take the weights here if you need to. And then what we'll do is we'll bring our palms out, clenching our fists, and then building those triceps, looking strong, clenching your fists, keeping your arms up, spine straight. Keep those arms uplifted, and we'll take circles. So I know this hurts, just keeping your arms out straight. Breathing, don't forget to breathe. And then the other way. Ooh. And then come back onto your mat and straighten up your left leg so that you're stood in a triangular pose. Feet facing to the front of your mat. Interlace the hands, lifting up through your chest, and then bend down, 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 down to the mat. The mat into a wide-legged forward fold. Inhale here, just take a breather. You did good, as they say. Exhale, notice the warmth and the heat in your arm muscles now, compared to how they were when you began. And then coming up slowly into a standing pose. And then cartwheeling the arms around, bending the left knee, step back into a plank, lowering the torso to the mat, keeping those elbows tucked in, push up into cobra. And from here, taking our booty back to our heels and come into a downward facing dog before we come again into plank. Now we're going to do 30 push-ups. So if you want, come down onto your knees. But if you can, engage your navel and push up into a plank, a full plank. Okay, so let's go. Hovering your feet if you can, coming forward with your chest. Keep those elbows in where you can. Just come down as far as you can go. We're halfway now. If you ever need to, come into child's pose. Take a breather. Do whatever your body needs to do today. Okay, let's go on the countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Come on. 3, 2, 1. Well done. Come into child's pose. Feels good to be back on the ground. Just take a few breaths here. And now we're going to take a bit of a stretch into the shoulders, working the body. So come into saddle pose. I'm going to face you. Now I've got a couple of options here. What I'd like you to do is a pose we call cow face pose. So, if you've got problems with your knees, I'd like to keep your legs out in front of you. If you can, bring your right leg round to your left hip and just pull it in there, letting your right foot meet your left hip, and then same on the other side. So bending your left knee to your right hip. Now this is the first move, and try here, just stack your knees on top of each other and keep your feet coming towards your hips as much as you possibly can. Now here, I'd like you to firstly start this with a strap. So what I'd like you to do is grab onto your strap and bring your right arm up to the sky, and then bringing your left arm back around to your back and put it between your shoulder blades, your hand, and then if you can, bringing the strap to meet the left hand. Or you might be able to go further and interlink the hands. So I'm just going to turn around and show you here what I've done. So here, interlinking the hands. And it doesn't matter if you need to grab onto your shirt, that's absolutely fine. Sometimes it takes a while to build up this flexibility. If you've got a problem with your shoulder or anything, please just take it easy. And one of the common things easy to do here is to flare out the ribs. Try and keep your back straight as possible. Shoulders away from the ears. Keeping your hips stacked, and try and keep them equally on the mat. Beautiful. Now we're going to take that exact same move to the other side. So we'll talk about the legs. Have the legs out in front of you, but this time, first of all, I'd like you to bring the left leg over to your right hip, and then bringing your right foot over towards your left hip. And try and have your knees stacked on top of each other. And if not, if one of the knees maybe is hurting, have the leg straight out in front of you, and we'll take that to the other side. So lifting up with your left arm, bringing your right arm towards your shoulder blades, and you might be able to interlink the hands with a strap, and maybe you'll be able to take it a little further and interlink the arms. Cow-faced pose. So on this side for me, it's a lot tighter, and that's exactly how many of you may feel. Taking an inhale here. Exhale, beautiful. So uncross the legs, that was a deep stretch, wonderful. And come down to your mat. Just moving the resistance band. Lower yourself down. Cactus arms, don't worry, we're not going to be doing any aerobic activity anymore. And let your knees drop out to the side, the left hand side. Just let that twist in your spine, looking over to your right shoulder. Coming up to center, and then just let the legs collapse over to the right hand side and look over your left shoulder. Bring your knees back up to center and let your legs fall out to the mat. Let your feet fall out beside you, opening up your palms, feeling how much better you feel from when you began the practice. And you may feel a bit achy here, but really you should feel improved, feel the circulation in your upper body, and utilizing an area that too often when we sit in desks doesn't get the attention it deserves, or the exercise it needs to be healthy. Breathe in, take a deep breath, unclench your jaw, breathe down your throat into your shoulders, your pecs, your triceps, your biceps, your forearms, your core, and all the way to your fingers.
Just breathe here. Feel the heaviness of your arms sink into the mat. Body wind down, relaxing further and further, escaping the present, worries, and focusing yourself on your health and thanking yourself for the effort you just put in and investment into your body. Taking one last breath all through your upper chest, feel it, oxygen go around, penetrating over those areas, and exhale the negative. Taking your arms above your head, stretching out to a full body stretch, and then coming and rolling to the side if you can, and come up to seated. Crossing the legs in front of you. And we'll just take a few stretches here. So bringing your right arm out to the side of your left and then clasping it with your left hand, your left forearm. Let go and do that on the other side. Left arm out to the side of the right and clasp it with your right forearm. Let go in your neck side to side. Circle the shoulders like we did when we began. Inhale up to the sky, exhale to the heart. Take one last time. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Palms together to your chest. And we bow and say Namaste. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me for that upper body, particularly toning arms exercise. If you like what you see, please subscribe to my YouTube channel or check out my other videos. I would really like to hear from you, so leave a comment down in the comment section, and I hope to see you again on the mat soon. Namaste.